Hey, this is Mike Gingrich with another Live with Mike. Happy Tuesday to you. And today we want to talk about the many options to be able to do e-commerce, sell products, take donations online. It is definitely uh, more efficient, less complex than it used to be, and it is doable. So, I mean, coming out of the COVID-19 scenario where a lot of businesses have been closed and businesses need to find a way to keep open or do something online, this is, necessitated businesses taking a look at that. And there are options kind of going forward for that for e-commerce, whether you are B2B or B2C. There's restaurants can do this, nonprofits, organizations. You want to take donations online, you can do that. And there are multiple ways to add bigger products that you wouldn't necessarily think. And so maybe you're not going to buy your kitchen online, but you want to design it. So there are options for that. And then boats, for example, or can be configured online, and you can get a price for that boat. So the world of online shopping is just continuing to grow. And today, I want to talk a little bit about that and give you a couple examples. So, in its most basic form, for a nonprofit church organization that wants to collect donations, what you can do is add a form to your site. We can do that. If you have a WordPress site, pretty simple. We use a tool called Gravity Forms, and we hook that up with a Stripe for the payment processing. You need to have your site needs to be secure using a SSL certificate. So again, some technical terms, but I don't want to get you overwhelmed with those things. Basically, you can kind of simply create this, type of form that you want. You want to collect their information: name, address, email address, and then we want to give them options to select from that they want to donate, and then you can have that secure payment processing. And Stripe then is the intermediary, so they put in their credit card information securely on the site, and that they're entering that technically into Stripe. Stripe is validating that card is valid, yes, and it receives the funds into there, and then it moves them over into your account that you set up within Stripe, in a day or two. And so that's as simple as it is with a online donation form. There are more complex things that can be set up. Recurring, somebody wants to set that up so it gives us X amount every week, every month, those types of pieces. And then on the Digital Hill blog today, I have a new post out about WooCommerce, and that's an e-commerce solution that goes with WordPress websites, so that if you have a WordPress website, we can do that for you. You can add this e-commerce module to it. It's got a lot of add-on pieces that can get you what you need done to make it as complex as you need, sophisticated for your needs there. So, different types of shipping methods, shipping providers. You can do different taxes for different states based on where maybe your warehouses are at, all those kinds of pieces. And so it's not tremendously difficult to get a e-commerce store set up. So the keys are kind of walking through the technical details of what you need to set up per product to be able to get the right shipping. So the weights, the dimensions, and maybe the shipping options. You got to go through those some kind of pieces. But one of the best things you want to do is create good pictures, have a good description for your product, and it's going to help it to be able to showcase well. Now, using WooCommerce, they've got a lot of tools there, so that you can add on. So they can do things like abandoned cart. So if someone leaves something in the cart and they went down the process, but then stopped at a certain point in time, we can save the cart. Or if they've went down far enough where they started entering information such as their email address but didn't complete the purchase, then we can email them and say, hey, you left this in the cart, are you interested? So there's abandoned cart features that you can add. These are all kind of like tools that can go around that. Of course, coupons, there's different mechanisms for that, where they can enter a coupon code, or there can be certain products with certain prices off, dollar amounts, percentages, all those types of things. You can offer different pricing for, maybe you have a dealer distributor network, so you can give them, you might have a retail price, but then to your dealers and distributors, you want to give them a different price so that if they log in and we have them set up in the system already, and you can add more dealers, distributors to your system, then you can check and give them, whatever that is. If they get 20% discount, 20% discount. If there needs to be levels of that, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, that get increments of 5% more off, you can do that. All kinds of pieces there. So with a WordPress website, you would go to the plugins area and you search, add a new plugin, search for WooCommerce, you download that, and then you want to begin, to set up the different pages. It kind of walks you through the steps that you're going to need. Obviously your product pages there. There's going to be some things to customize with a thank you page, with a privacy page, with a the checkout page, all those kind of pieces there. And then WooCommerce even has a free app in the App Store, iOS and Android, I believe both, that you can manage your orders there. So you can see what orders have come in and process them. Say it's moved to order received, order processing, order shipped, and people can log in and see their status that way. All those kind of pieces. So some of the keys to take a look at when you're thinking about selling e-commerce online is shipping. Okay, how are you going to ship that? Are there any uniquenesses of your shipping? Does it fit in a standard box that UPS or USPS or FedEx offer, or does it need something different? So those are some of the variables that can you need to work through to make sure you get your setup right, so that when somebody goes through and checks out, the shipping is going to be covering what you need to have covered on that. And shipping is, I want to say, it's usually typically more of an art than a science. You can check rates from UPS and then give them that rate online. Now, when you go and actually ship that, will it still be the same? Will it be a little variation of that? It's going to be close. You can do that. There's even shipping factors in that, so you can say the UPS price plus 1.5%. Those type of things to make sure that your shipping costs get covered. So those are all pieces. So that's where the configuration comes into play, which is typically where we help the most in that time, because we have guys that work with that all the time, so they know those kind of pieces, can walk you through, this is what your site needs. They can ask you the right questions and get those things identified. So again, there's all kinds of levels from your basic donation just in a form, to products that a consumer is going to buy, B2C retail, and then even more advanced ones where you want them to be able to select but maybe not purchase, or that you want them to get a price, but that price is going to be so big they're not going to do it with a credit card anyway. But it can send prices to you, and you can follow up with that. There's all kinds of methods to take care of what your process needs to be to deliver online sales. And so in this day and age, that's something to seriously think about, consider, find ways to make sure that if quarantines happen again, or all those kind of pieces, that you're not stranded, you're not down, but business can keep going, and you can continue to not only survive, but you can continue to thrive as you go forward. So take a look at the post today on Digital's website. If you go over to the site, click on the resources, should be the top post there, called Adding an Online Store to Your WordPress Website Using WooCommerce. So that will give you kind of the basic details. I went into a little bit more, some of those variables, but we talk about some of the keys there. And of course, our team is available to help you analyze your specific situation, because each one's a little bit different, a little bit unique. And we can help you kind of walk through some of those pieces. We got a whole checklist we kind of go through to help identify what you're going to need for your scenario. So don't be caught where you can't keep doing business. You want to take a look at ways, even allowing people to pay for invoices. That's a good one. I didn't even think about. Similar to that invoicing system. Maybe it's so with QuickBooks Online, obviously you can turn on the credit card processing if they can do that. But let's say you don't have that, but you still want them to pay. You could have a form set up where part of the form is, what invoice are they paying on? They put in a number there, and then how much do they want to pay, and you accept a credit card payment that way. Okay, so those are all possibilities that you can do, and you kind of factor in if the credit card's going to charge approximately 3% of that price. You can even factor that into the total, so that if they want to pay 500 bucks, it's 500 times 3% to pay for that fee to do it online. And so that way your costs are being covered, but be giving them the convenience of being able to pay that instantaneously right there. So lots of possibilities. Sky's the limit there, and you just need to take care of taking a look at the details, figuring those pieces out. So it requires some dialogue, conversation, so that you're thinking through all the variables that need to be thought through from your end on what you're going to need to provide, how you want your solution to work, and the variables that may come up that you want to make sure you cover. And then our team can put together that kind of specific solution for you to do that. So that's what I wanted to cover today, just taking a look at the latest blog post out there on adding an online store, WordPress to your via WooCommerce to your WordPress website. Okay, so that's it for Live with Mike today. Check those pieces out. Come on over to digitalhill.com for that. All right, this is Mike. Have a great week. Take care.